What's up, folks? It is Will. It is I. I have returned. And we're still talking about Stephanie Vaquer, but not just her this time. Giulia, because names were dropped. Several names, actually, by Roxanne Perez, but the two names in particular we're talking about today is one Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer. We're here, folks. We are on the road to No Mercy and to some big, exciting matches, hopefully. Do me a favor. If you're watching the video on replay, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment and tell me what you think about Stephanie and Giulia coming into NXT. If you're not watching this on replay, then you watch it now in the chat. What's up, chat? David, what's up? How you doing, folks? Yes, it's time. The time has come, folks. We're gonna break down what happened last night on NXT, which is like clearly and like without question the most, for me, the most exciting stuff that happened, which is just name drops. Everything, there's some other school stuff. Joe Henry showed up on commentary just because, no match to set up there. Ethan Page had a match for the title, a title defense. What else happened? We got a new feud coming up with Kalani and Tatum Paxley. Some other stuff happened. Great match, 3-on-3 match with the Rascals against Gallus, which was good. But we're here to talk about Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer. So what happened? Let's break it down, all right? So we knew we were going to hear from Roxanne Perez. She walked down there, on her way to the damn ring. Right before a commercial break, Thea Hail almost attacked her. It was pretty funny. Rich Holland had to pull her back. I thought it was a pretty funny spot there. But she gets to the ring. She starts talking that talk. She says, what is it going to take for everybody to start treating me with some respect around here, She wants to get her flowers because she beat, what's her face? Lola Vice. She hit like 5 freaking pop rocks. She defeated her, and now she wants her flowers. You feel she's not getting it. Lola got a freaking standing ovation, and she didn't get no damn standing ovation. She didn't get any claps. She didn't get any cheers. Where's her appreciation? Where's her flowers? Where's her champagne? Where's her recognition, She says she's 22 years old, and she's so damn good. She's not even in her prime yet. She's not even prime level. And she's just damn good. Then she starts like talking about rewriting the history books. She started like name dropping veterans. She name drops Charlotte Flair. She name drops Asuka. She says Rhea's name. It was like a damn Kendrick Lamar track back in the day. Remember that track? If you know about Kendrick Lamar, he released that damn rap song where he name dropped all the damn rappers in the damn industry. She name dropping everybody here. Charlotte, Bayley, Asuka, Rhea. She does that. She says she's gonna break all the records because she's already 22 years old and she's already cooking now. And then we get to the good stuff here. What things that made me raise my eyebrow. She said, what really pissing me off, because she's been on Twitter, she's been reading your tweets, she's been reading your Instagram post. You know what really pisses her off? That Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer getting all this recognition, all this talk online. And then she specifically says that she's been hearing that when Giulia gets to NXT, Roxanne is in trouble. And she heard that when Stephanie Vaquer shows up, she's gonna run through the whole entire women's division. So she's been reading your tweets, so don't worry. You're not being blocked. You're not ignored. You're not on mute. She's reading it. She sees what's happening. And actually, I think it's smart for them to acknowledge this stuff because it's all over the place. It's all over the internet. Everybody be talking about Stephanie Vaquer. How can you not acknowledge it? You brought it up on Raw. It would have been a big mistake to not talk about it in some capacity on freaking NXT. I'm glad they had Roxanne address it because it shows that the characters are online watching what's being talked about. They're aware. They're not in some vacuum, okay? This is important, and what's happening amongst the fans is relevant to on screen, which is cool. They're talking about it because we're talking about it. You can't ignore it. Stephanie Vaquer, she even had a damn message on Twitter which she says, "See you soon, NXT," and we're all acknowledging it. So you can't just keep ignoring it. She's coming, so you have to address it somehow. So they talked about Stephanie, and they brought in Giulia because why not, folks? She also said, go ahead and roll out the damn red carpet. She said, roll out the red carpet for him, okay? Because I'm the prodigy, and nobody compares to me anyway, okay? Now, we have reached a threshold here, folks. We have reached a new what's the word I'm looking for? Names have been dropped. So there's no going back, okay? Once you name dropped these folks, so the whole entire time we had the oven on preheat. It's been heating up. It's been heating up. It's been heating up. It got to 400 Fahrenheit, okay? Now it's ready. Well, what happened last night, they've taken the chicken and they put it in the oven. There's no going back now. It's cooking. Either burns or not, or you either get a good meal out of it or burns, okay? The chicken is in the oven. It is cooking. The names have been dropped. You can't go back now. Once you drop Giulia's name, Stephanie's name, now we're on the clock. When did they show up? What's happening with them? What's the feud? Like, there's no going back now. So we are now on the road to No Mercy, and we're on the road to Stephanie and Giulia showing up on the show, which is exciting for folks like me who've been talking about it for God knows how long. All right. So this is where we're at. Now, that being said, I'll stop there because the promo continues because he brings up Thea Hail, but let's stop there. Kalani Jordan, let's jump to Kalani's segment. She brings up Stephanie and Giulia, okay, to like hammer it home even further. She says, they asked her about her match at Heatwave, great match with Sol Ruca. She gives Sol Ruca her props, and then she says, and I heard what Roxanne Perez said, Giulia and Stephanie's coming. So, there's a lot of competition coming to NXT. I'm excited. I'm ready to embrace the challenge. I'm paraphrasing. That's basically what she said, all right? We are not cooking, folks. We're cooking. Chicken's in the oven. Now, question is, what is going to happen? Looking at their social media, Giulia, I'll bring it up here in a second because I have it queued up, I believe. I do. Giulia retweeted. So she's paying attention to NXT. Giulia retweeted Roxanne's message about Giulia and Stephanie. She's retweeting it. She's paying attention. She wasn't added. They didn't add her. She's paying attention to what's going on in NXT, and she retweeted it because her name was dropped. And my girl Stephanie, she reposted. She's been reposting a lot of shit. Matter of fact, let me show some of this stuff. Stephanie had been on a tear on Instagram. She's retweeting what Dom said. She's retweeting her moments at the WWE show in Mexico. She's retweeting her finisher on Isla Dawn. She's showing all her moments in her stories. Awesome to see. And then we get to here, at the end here, where she where she reposts on Instagram, Roxanne Perez calling her out. All right. So we're in the zone here, folks. They know, we all know, they're paying attention. We're on the road, okay? We're on the road to No Mercy and their appearance. Now, what are we going to do here, folks? That's my question to the chat. That's my question to everybody listening right now. What is the plan here? I'm not going to talk about what I think is going to happen, because that's a fool's gold. There's no point in doing that. We don't know what's going to happen. Who knows, okay? What I'm going to talk about here in this stream, what I think they should do, okay? But before I talk about what they should do with Giulia and Stephanie, let's talk about what's going on, because I do understand there's some people that might be watching this stream who have not been following Giulia. Hell, on Twitter, every day I see somebody say, Giulia's still injured. Like, wow, you are really out of the loop. No, Giulia is not injured. Okay, she's been cleared for a while now, okay? What's going on with Giulia? Giulia is in Marigold, the promotion started by Rossi Ogawa. She is cleared in wrestling. She just had a match at Summer Destiny where she faced Suri in the finals. Well, not the finals, but the main event. And she lost. She lost to Suri again. She lost to Suri in the first match on the first show. She got injured in that show, been kind of heal up, got a surgery, got cleared, and lost to her again in the main event at the first pay-per-view of the entire promotion. Now, how did she lose? Did she get pinned? No. Did she tap? No. Well, then how did this girl lose the match? Well, it was a ref stoppage. You see, Suri, being the vicious woman that she is, you know her as Saray in NXT. She's now Suri and one of the best in the world now. Suri attacked her wrist, her injured wrist, and it was a painful, and the ref took it upon himself to stop the match because the ref did not want her to get injured again. In kayfabe, if I was Giulia, I'd be pissed. I would probably kick the ref in the balls. Like, what are you doing stopping the match? I didn't tap. I didn't give up. Why are you stopping the match? It was Rossi's way to have her lose and still protect her. She didn't tap, she didn't get pinned, but she lost anyway because the ref took it upon himself to stop the match. So it protects her. Is it the best ending? Is it super awesome? No, but if he wants to protect Giulia for the sake of the WWE, maybe, or for the sake of his own investment in Giulia, then I guess it makes sense to protect her, to make her look really strong. But all I'm saying, in kayfabe, if a ref stopped the match, I'm gonna make a big deal of it. She didn't really make a big deal of it afterwards, so I'm guessing she kind of accepted it in kayfabe. She understood what he did. Yes, my wrist was gonna be injured if I don't stop if he didn't stop the match, my wrist would have been screwed up. Fine, but that's how the match stopped. She loses. Now, because she's been injured, Giulia has not been in the matches with entertaining the Marigold fans, right? She's the big attraction. She's the big face of the company, but she's not been in the ring. She's been doing commentary. She's been, presenting the shows. She's been opening the shows with on the mic, but she hasn't been wrestling. So what she wants to do, I would assume, is now go on the road because she's listed for the shows coming up here in July and August. She's going to be on the road wrestling against the women that she had not got a chance to wrestle with. That's on the roster. For example, she's going to be taking the ring with these youngins here in a second. I'll bring it up in a second. Here, so here's her dates. I posted it yesterday, so it should be easy to find. So here's the Marigold dates. Here it is. Here's our dates. She's front and center with Utami at the top here, right? Giulia right there. Right there. So here's the dates. As you can see, July 20th, 21, 30, August 3rd, 4th, 10th, 12th, 19th, 24, 25. So you got dates here in lead up to No Mercy, which is the 1st of September. Now, does this mean that she will not be able to be on NXT? Not necessarily, but it's something to keep in mind. She has dates. So she'll be wanting to wrestle on the cards here. For example, if you go to Marigold here, let's head over to the Marigold page. She has some dates already, some matches already set up here. Again, she's not been wrestling at all for this promotion on the regular. She's wrestled 2 women so far. She's wrestled Bozilla in a tag match and Sari in a singles and tag match. That's it. So nobody else has touched her. See, here she had the match on the 21st with her old friend Mai Sakurai. She was in her stable in Stardom. So this is a reunion between the two, taking on, that's actually a good match. I'm looking forward to that. Mirai and Tommy against Mai Sakurai and Giulia. That's a match I want to see. So she's gonna be doing this. She's gonna be on the road with Marigold. She had another match here. You see in a second with the young ones. Look at this. These are 2 women who are 19 years old. She's with Victoria Yuzuki, one of them. Wrestling Sari again. Maybe another loss for Giulia against Sari again. But yeah, this is crazy. There's 3 champions. Sari is the red belt winner, the world champion. Miku Ano has the white belt, which is the secondary belt. And then Suzuki, she freaking has the Superfly belt. So three champions against Giulia and like 2 young wrestlers, both of them 19. Interesting booking there. Interesting booking. I just thought about that. Champions, all champions, singles champions against 2 teenagers in Giulia. Loss coming for Giulia again. But yeah, so she's going to be on the road, okay? She's going to be on the road, wrestling women that she hadn't got a chance to wrestle, and entertaining her Marigold fans. And the question is, will she be able to swing it, as in like go to NXT and do her Marigold stuff? Let's look at these dates again. Let's look at these dates. So let's go to after Great American Bash, because who are we kidding? When is the Great American Bash? The Great American Bash 2024. That is August 6th? Okay. So let's look past August 6th, because I don't think she's showing up before that anyway, right? We got the 10th, got the 12th, got the 19th, and 24th. NXT is she can show up on the because you have the 4th. I mean, she can miss some of these dates. She could miss some of these dates. Just be clear. She can miss some of these dates, and she's probably going to show up at the Japanese tour as well. She's probably going to show up same way Stephanie Vaquer showed up on the Mexican shows for WWE. She can easily show up in Osaka and in Tokyo for those summer tours as well. So that's something to consider as well. Those dates in July. But as far as August goes, past Great American Bash, we have a NXT on the 13th, NXT August 13th, on the 20th and 27th. Like I said, okay, so basically what I'm saying here is there's going to be some finagling here. She may have to miss some of these dates if she's going to fly to America and then fly back, okay? Can it be done? Yes. The last date is the 25th here. That's a week before No Mercy, a full week. Can she do the dates? Yes. Can she still work NXT? Yes. It's possible, okay? So if you're kind of projecting your mind, Giulia facing Roxanne Perez at No Mercy on the 1st of September, looking at these dates, will she probably miss one or two? Yes, but it can be done depending on their agreement, okay? Right now, I'm not banking on it. I'm not banking on her being able to do both, flying back and forth. It's a possible, sure. But again, if it's up to me, I would book it like that. I would have her come to NXT and work some NXT dates as well as this, and then come for No Mercy. But I want to make clear we don't know for sure what they're doing. We don't know the agreement here. It could be till after these dates before she even shows up at all. For the record, it's possible. So maybe we don't see Giulia until, well, we don't see her, but maybe she doesn't compete for the title until Halloween Havoc. I would hope not, but it's possible, okay? I'm just saying it's possible. But let's, for the sake of argument, let's say she's going to be going back and forth, and she'll make a No Mercy date. Let's just say that for argument's sake. She'll make a No Mercy date. Okay. September 1st, she shows up. Let's just say that. And wrestles Roxanne. Is that the way to go? Or do you do Stephanie Vaquer against Roxanne Perez? Now, Stephanie, we know Stephanie is ready to go. She is not injured. None of them are injured. Neither one of them are injured, right? She got rid of all her CMLL and New Japan dates, famously. It's well documented at this point. She's clear and ready to go. She's free, no obligations, no commitments, and this just depends on when they want to pull her up. All right, when are they ready for her to go? I believe that she will not show up until after Great American Bash, probably, because it looks like they're doing Kalani Jordan against Tatum Paxley. So why am I bringing up Kalani? One thing we want to bring, before I talk about Kalani, let's talk about one thing for sure, though. CW. USA Network is done with NXT after October. October, it'll be the CW. The CW is paying good money for NXT. Do you want to start off the CW relationship with a bang with the women's division? There's all this talk about CW wanting to have NXT and NXT wanting to be a third brand, potentially. There's all this conversation about developmental versus CW versus not CW, but versus a third brand, okay? What do you want? Do you want to do developmental? Do you want to be a third brand? You can do both. I think you can do both. I think you can be a third brand while still catering to the youngsters. And I think that's the way they want to go with CW, because CW, again, are paying solid money, not cheap, not nothing, good amount of money for NXT. So you want NXT to be big, want it to be must watch. I think they're going to want to start with a bang, and I can see them not only making Giulia champion, but Stephanie champion as well. I think because you don't want Stephanie and Giulia to come in and immediately compete against each other. That's a mistake in my opinion. That's a waste of resources in the sense that it's a waste of star power. Bringing in Giulia and Stephanie to immediately take on each other is a mistake. It's a mistake. I think what you need to do is bring in Giulia as a babyface. You bring in Stephanie as a heel. They do not cross paths at all. That makes things pretty clear, right? Giulia will take on Roxanne Perez. Stephanie will take on Kalani Jordan. You have two champions, Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer. Two stars, absolute stars. Looks like stars, carried themselves like stars, aura, charisma, talent, and they are the face of your women's division heading into CW. That's big, that's bold, and it's awesome. And then you have the younger talent on the roster trying to compete, trying to get those matches. In other storylines, yes, but the top of the division, Stephanie, Giulia, they do not cross paths. Maybe down the line, you do a champion versus championship match, or maybe down the line, you do a match between the two, maybe at Stand Deliver or something like that, a big show. But for the most part, I think you keep them separate and you let their star power be away from each other. That way you can benefit from it instead of having them beat up on each other. That's a mistake. I don't think, so let's say for the sake of argument, let's say Giulia has the NXT Women's Championship and Stephanie has the North American Women's Championship. I don't think that will look bad for either one of them. I don't think Stephanie will be overshadowed at all. Look at the men's division. Who's the top champion in the men's division? Is it Ethan Page or is it Obafemi? The belt does not make the champion. The champion makes the belt. Whoever's the A or the B champ is not based on the belt, based on the person, the personality, and the in-ring talent. Stephanie Vaquer can take that North American Women's Championship and be the ace of the company and be a massive star and even overshadow, if anything. Here's the thing, folks. Spoiler alert, in case you didn't know, Stephanie Vaquer, and you say Gunther, and that's another example. Gunther, IC title, looked very impressive, was like, a big man on campus with the IC title. If anything, if I was worried about one of the two, if I was worried, I'd be more worried about Giulia. Why? Spoiler alert, Stephanie Vaquer is better in the ring than Giulia. Without question, she's better in the ring. And they both look like stars. And they both carry themselves like stars. And they're both beautiful. They both have a, what the word I'm looking for? Markability. They're both marketable. If anything, you'd be worried about Stephanie overshadowing Giulia because her in-ring is so damn good and she looks amazing. I don't think you need to worry about either one of them. I think they'll both be fine, if anything. But like I said before, look at Obafemi. Look what's happening right now with even in AEW, the TBS title. Mercedes Moné has that. Who's getting the higher booking? Tony or Mercedes? It's Mercedes. The talent makes the belt. There's a situation where Stephanie get that damn belt and she could overshadow Giulia. That's possible. So I don't think it will happen. I think they'll both be fine. My only point I'm making is they'll be fine. You don't have to worry about one overshadowing the other one. Stephanie could be a champion with the North American title. Giulia could be the A champion with the other belt. And they could both be looking like massive stars in their presentation and in the booking. Last night we saw Obafemi main event the show. Stephanie Vaquer can main event a show with that damn North American title. She's so damn good in the ring. And she looks amazing. I can't overstate it. She's the complete package. Both of them are. They're a complete package in every way. So they'll be fine. That's what I would do. Put the belt on Stephanie Vaquer. She beats Kalani and she's a heel. You put the belt on Giulia and she's a babyface. You have the top babyface Giulia, top heel Stephanie, and you run with the new CW on NXT. Does that make sense? Her transition will be very smooth for sure. That's what I would do. Establish the third brand. Establish a very strong women's division with Giulia and Stephanie on top. And they'll both be looking like $1 million. They'll both be. I guess that makes sense. Thanks, David. I appreciate that. I guess that makes sense. Okay, let me go back and look at some of the chat here that I've been completely ignoring. By the way, if you wanted me to stop at any point, send in a super chat and I will definitely, that'll get my attention. Let's see. All I'm going to say is when Giulia and Stephanie make their debuts, it's about to hit the fans. Yeah, shit about to hit the fans. Okay. think Stephanie appears at Great American Bash and Giulia appears at No Mercy. Yeah, I think she appears at Great American Bash as well. Why not? No Mercy appearance, or Stephanie's the end game. Roxanne must lost the title. You can't have Giulia lose. Okay, I'm assuming you meant lose. Roxanne must lose the title. You can't have Giulia lose. Okay, yeah, of course. Giulia's not gonna lose. She's not losing. No, she's too big an investment to lose. I think she loses, and then Roxanne goes to the main roster immediately. Roxanne beats Thea. Yeah, we'll talk about Thea here in a second. I agree. Roxanne will beat Thea Hail, and then you set up No Mercy against. Like I said, we're gonna assume that Roxanne can face Giulia at No Mercy, and that her dates are not gonna be a problem. And you can build a feud. You want to build it. You want to build that match. You don't want her to just pop up. You know. Thank you for super chat, my guy. What do you see Delta doing with both these titles busy? Okay, we have to have a conversation about Delta. I think Delta is going to be. Here's the thing. Delta is not going to come in with the same fanfare as Giulia or Stephanie. She's going to come in more as your Maddie Rinkowski, aka Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair was doing a lot of stuff on the NWA scene. She was killing it down there. What happened? She came up, she changed her name, and she came in at a low point. Now she's trying to build her way up. Now she's turning heel, I believe. She's joining the No Quarter Catch crew, right? She's doing that. I think Delta is going to come in at the low point. She's not coming in at a high point like Giulia or Stephanie. Right or wrong, if you look at her Twitter followers, I think it's less than 3,000. She's not well known. She's great talent, but not well known. I think she's going to come in kind of low key. They're not going to present her as a big deal coming in. She'll come in, she'll be there, she'll work her way up. Similar to what they're doing with Maddie Rinkowski. I keep saying that's her name. Her name is Ren Sinclair now, but she was Maddie Rinkowski. Same way they're doing with her. She's going to come in low and build her way up. She's not going to come in with any heat. She's not going to come in with Giulia's heat or Stephanie's heat. She's going to be like a regular signee that they build up. That's the answer to the question, right? She's not going to come in with a lot of fanfare or big deal. She's not going to be a big deal coming in. A lot of people still don't know who she is. Like, a lot of people still do not know who she is. They could make her a big deal. Is that smart? They can like force it. Like, we just signed Delta, blah, 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 blah. They can make it a big deal, but I don't know if that makes much sense to do that, especially if you're pushing Stephanie and Giulia right out the gate. I mean, you look at her Twitter. She has what? Less than 3,000 followers. So Delta, I believe, will come in at a low point. That's all. She's talented. She's too talented not to be a star. So she'll make it her way there. She'll build herself up, but she won't come in heavy. She'll come in mid-tier and build herself up and build up her name and then be a star that way. So yeah, so Giulia and Stephanie are going to push to the forefront immediately. Delta, not so much, I believe. But that kind of explains it right there. Yeah, she looks amazing. She's going to be a star, I think, but she's not going to come in with the, oh my God, it's Delta. It's not going to be Stephanie or Giulia. Not that type of build, not that type of hype. So, but she'll be fine. Delta is a talented wrestler from Australia. She wrestled at the same promotion that Rhea did. They had a tryout for her. Well, not for her, but a lot of talent when they went down for Elimination Chamber in Australia. She auditioned for them. She had a tryout. She did well. And now she's wrapping up her dates. And it's very rumored. Not even rumored. I think she retweeted it. Here it is. She's wrapping up her dates. She's almost done. She's wrapping it up here. And you look at her Twitter. She literally retweeted a tweet where she says she's going to WWE. Where is it? 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 Here it is. Retweet. Delta on her way to WWE, so I had to make a quick, sick edit together. Hope y'all enjoy. So she's acknowledging it. She's not even hiding it. She's retweeting stuff saying she's going to WWE. That's where she's going. Thanks again for super chat, Richard. So yeah, she'll be in WWE. It'll come, and she will work her way into it. Talented. If you can find her match against Jordan Grace, go find that. Her matches are all on YouTube. Google it, Delta. You can find it. You can Google, let's see. Go to the, Riot City Wrestling YouTube page. You find a lot of her matches. She's good, very good, powerful, pitbull, strong. She does remind me a little bit of Ivy Nile. Very strong, a bull. She's gonna be a star because she has a great look. She has a great look. So yeah, that's about Delta. Let's look at some more of these messages. Yeah, she should appear on the Japanese summer tour that they're doing. It'd be a mistake if she didn't show up. I think she will. Probably in Tokyo. The Tokyo show. Let's see. Stephanie dethrones Roxanne. I think it'll be Stephanie dethroning Kalani. I think that, if you remember, the entire plan has been Giulia Roxanne, right? Stephanie has been the new thing that they added, right? She's a new thing. She's a new element. She was not a part of the plans. They've been signed, like, Giulia has been signed since WrestleMania. They just signed Stephanie. I don't think they're going to derail their plans to that extent. I think the plan will still be, okay, Giulia, you're going to wrestle Roxanne. That's been the plan. Roxanne has been preparing herself for Giulia. But we'll do that. Stephanie, you're going to come in and you'll face Kalani. Again, that's what I would do. We don't know. That's what I would do. I don't think they're going to alter their plans so much that Kalani is like that. Roxanne is now dethroned by Stephanie. Because again, I don't think Stephanie against Giulia makes too much sense right at the gate. I think you save that. And the best way to save that is to split them up. One chases one title, other one chases the other one. That's what I would do. Spread out your stars. Don't let your stars cannibalize each other. Spread them out. That's what I would do. Let's see. Obafemi deserves more credit. Yep, I agree. He's great. Having two champions that can't speak English properly would be interesting. I think Giulia's been working on her English. She's been working on it. For what it's worth. And I think Stephanie Vaquer's lack of English is probably understated. Probably understated. I think she understands some stuff. I thought her English sounded fine when she talked that short a bit in that short promo she did. You want to hear Giulia's English? Her English is pretty good actually when she does speak. I don't know how much she knows well.
It's Giulia here. It's Giulia here. It's Giulia here.
Well, probably is playing. I just don't hear it because I have my thing. That was playing.
It's Giulia here.
Let me. Her English is not bad. Her English is not bad, and she's working on it. Now more. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Southern fans, it's Giulia here. If you're coming to Japan for Wrestle Kingdom Week, get yourself a ticket to see Stardom Dream Kingdom at Sumo Hall on December 29th. I'm gonna kick Megan Ben's big ass back to America. And January.
I'm gonna kick Megan Ben's big ass back to America. That's hilarious.
Big ass back. I'm gonna kick Megan Ben's big ass back to America. And January 4th, before Wrestle Kingdom, come see Stardom at Tokyo Dome City Hall. Stardom at noon, and then go and see Wrestle Kingdom just a few steps away. Spend the holidays with Giulia. Arrivederci. Matana.
Let me hear this one more time.
Ben's big ass. I'm gonna kick Megan Ben's big ass back to America.
She did. She did kick her ass back to America. She really did. Whoops. How long have I been muted? How long have I been muted? How long have I been muted? Like 5 minutes? Too long? Here's a question. Here's a question. What's the last thing you heard me say? What's the last thing you heard me say? What's the last thing you heard me say? Do you remember? Let me know, and I can write. I'll know when I was off, how long I was off. Oh, yeah, Giulia. Yeah, oh yeah, since I played the Giulia clip. Okay. So what did I say after that? I said her English is fine. Okay, Mega Man. Her English is fine. I think she's been working on her English since then. So that was last year. Okay. So that was last year, right? So since then, she has been continuing working on her English, right? So I'm not worried about Giulia. I think she'd be fine. If her English was that good before, that was last year. We're in July of this year. She'll be fine. Now, Stephanie, I don't know, but I think she'll be fine as well. She had like one line she said in that one promo she did for the WWE. She said, thank you for the day. That's all she said. WWE, thank you for the day. And she sounded fine. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about Stephanie or Giulia. Their English will be fine. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, so that's my thought process, guys. I think Roxanne Perez dropped the belt to Giulia. And then I think Connie Jordan, whose name I can't remember for some reason, she's dropping the belt to Stephanie. That's what I would do. Yeah, Stephanie and Giulia champions at the same time, because why the hell not? Officially be a third brand. CW enjoys, because they're going to have a lot of people wanting to check them out. A lot of people want to see Giulia wrestle. They want to see Roxanne lose to Giulia. They're going to want to see Stephanie wrestle. So that's the top of the women's division. You're cooking with hot grease, exciting stuff. Maybe even more entertaining than main roster in some respects. Having Stephanie Vaquer have a bunch of matches, then having Giulia have a bunch of matches. That could be good stuff to watch. Do I think the main roster need mid-card titles? Does it need it? No. Will it make it better? Maybe. Here's the thing about mid-card titles, folks. A title is just a prop to tell stories. That's all it is. Just a storytelling device. That's all it is. Every title is a storytelling device. Whether it's the Cruiserweight title or the NXT title or the main top title in the damn promotion, it's just a storytelling device. If you're telling me that creating a belt will force them to tell stories, I understand the thought process, but I don't know if I buy it completely. Why? We have women's tag titles. Has that forced them to tell stories in the tag division? No. There has to be a want to tell stories no matter what. If there's no want to tell stories, it doesn't matter how many props you make. It doesn't matter how many storytelling devices you have. If there's no desire to tell stories, who cares, right? There has to be a want to. There has to be a desire no matter what. So if they create a mid-card title, whether it be a women's US title or women's intercontinental title, I would hope that there's a desire to tell stories. Because if not, it doesn't matter how many belts you make. It would just be just like the tag titles. It's just there. They're just walking around with the belts, no storylines, no time on TV. Do you want that? So just be careful what you wish for, okay? The last thing I want to do is create mid-card titles. It has the same situation as the tag titles for the women, where the women walk around with the mid-card belts and not having matches. There has to be a desire to want to tell stories no matter what. And if they're not willing to do it now, then they're not going to do it even if there is tag titles or mid-card titles. It doesn't matter if there's no willingness to do it, if there's no desire. For example, when they announced that NXT we're going to get a mid-card for the women, when they announced that they're going to get a North American women's title, I was excited. Why? Because I knew it would be used. I knew because they tell stories down the card, I was confident, yeah, make another women's title. They're already telling stories. They already want to tell stories. There's already the desire to tell stories down there. So yeah, make one. They'll use it. It'll be used and it'll be good. And it'll be the actual storyline for there because they're actually telling stories down the card. But they're not telling stories down the card significantly for the women on main roster. So creating a mid card with the idea of, oh, this will force them. They'll have no choice. Let's be careful there. They'll have a choice, okay? Just because they create mid card titles don't mean there'll be good storylines. Does not mean they're going to be featured on TV regularly. Again, look at the women's tag titles when it's not on Bianca and Jade. Are you getting any storylines that are relevant and important? Are you seeing the tag titles on TV right now? The thought that that'll change for the mid cards is kind of silly. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they create the mid card titles and they're used all over the place and it's good storylines and it's compelling television. I will hope that's the case, but I'm not banking on it. Because again, it's not NXT. NXT, there's a willingness to tell storylines down the card for women, so therefore creating a belt makes sense. We can all just hope for the best. That's all I can do. I can just hope for the best. Am I missing something here? Okay, let's talk about what happened on with the Thea Hail. So after Roxanne Perez cuts that promo, and she basically says, with that being said, it's laughable that Thea Hail thinks she can beat me. Ha, Thea thinks she can beat me? Moi? Crazy. Then she takes a shot at Duke. She said Thea Hail has about the same chance to beat me as Duke does to beat Obafemi tonight. Taking a shot at him for no damn reason. Well, actually, because he's in the Chase U, so I guess it makes sense. Because Thea Hail's in Chase U, so why not take a shot at her friend in Chase U as well? What happened? Then Thea Hail comes down there. Thea Hail comes down and says, hey, I used to look up to you, but I don't look up to you anymore. Our paths never crossed. I thought you would kind of be understanding because people used to underestimate you as well. And now you're underestimating me. What's up with that? And she says, she had a great line. She had a line where, open up that history book, the one that you said you're going to rewrite the history in it, and hand me the pen. Okay. She's cooking. Oh, she's cooking. Good job, Thea. I love her promo. Thea's great. I love Thea Hail. Great promo from her. Hand me the pen and let me write my story in that history book, being one of the youngest ever to win the title. Chef's kiss. Great job. Great promo. Then it got physical. Basically, she said, Roxanne said to her, this is a big girl title. You're a little girl, so get out of my face. Got physical, and Thea put her in the arm bar, and Roxanne started screaming, and then, what's her face? Who pulled her off of Roxanne? It was Rich Holland. Rich Holland pulled her off, and Roxanne ran away. Getting that match at Great America Bash, Roxanne will win. But I really like Thea Hail. She has a very promising future. I think she'll be NXT champion eventually. Hey, why not have her dethrone Giulia when the time comes? Or have her dethrone Stephanie, assuming they both be champions when the time comes? Why not? Thea's awesome. Great. Hand me the pin. Oh, so good. So good. Have you heard the news about... Well, let me read some of the chat because I didn't... Because maybe you guys have something to say about the mid-card situation. If I am Triple H and Sean, I'm not worried about both women that not speaking English. I agree. I'd be more concerned about the rest of the women's division not picking up by... Okay. You're not getting packed up by both women, yeah. Yeah, I'm not worried about them. They'll be fine. I'm not worried about their English. Asuka was champion for how long? How much English did she talk down in NXT? It's not even an issue. You had Asuka down there dominating. We had Io Sky being champion. How many English promos were they cutting? If Asuka was fine, if Io was fine, then Giulia and Stephanie will be fine. I'm not worried about their English speaking. They'll be fine. They can go in the ring and they look amazing. That's all that matters. When you look like this, let me show you guys. Let me show you. When you look like this, okay, and you can wrestle your asses off, doesn't matter if your English is not the best, okay? You look like a star. You are awesome in the ring. You're good. As long as you can pass some like line or two which they can, as we've seen already. We've heard Giulia talk. I've heard Vaquer talk a little bit in English. They'll be fine. They look amazing and they can wrestle their ass off. They have that aura. They're stars. They will be fine. Trust me, they'll be fine. Soul against Stephanie? Oh, give it to me now. Stephanie against Soul, cooking. Stephanie against even Kalani. Stephanie Kalani, give it to me. That's gonna be sensational with Kalani's athleticism and Stephanie's experience and her talent. Oh, they can come up with some awesome sequences and some awesome matches. You saw what she did with Mercedes Moné. Think about Mercedes Moné selling with more athleticism and to have her lead Kalani. Oh my God, that's Kalani against Stephanie would cook. Oh my God, I would cook. There's so many matches to see there. So many matches. Even Giulia Roxanne is a great match. I'm looking forward to all these matchups, man. Star talent, star potential. Not worried one bit. Now, did you hear about Meiko? Now, Meiko Sanomura is going to be on the Japan show. So she's going to be wrestling with Bianca and Jade against Damage Control, which is kind of cool. She's still under contract, but she's running her own promotion in Japan, so she can't be. She's in Japan working. She's running her own promotion, but they're still paying her. She's still on the payroll, but she's not really going to be on the main roster anytime soon, if ever. Never. She's in Japan. She's working her own promotion. She's like running her own shows. She's doing her own stuff over there. But because they're going to Japan, they invited her to show up, and she will be there. We're gonna get Bianca. Feels to me like this would be actually the main event, like for the Japan show. Cause you have the American Nightmare against Shinsuke and AJ Styles. That's a big triple threat match with Shinsuke in there. And AJ, of course, is familiar with the Japan audience. Then the next match, really, for the Japan audience, is not so much Jay and Damian Priest. It's gonna be this one here, Bianca, Jade, and Meiko against Damage Control, Kota Kairi, and Io. That's a big match. I hope they record it. I hope somebody records it. I want to see that match. And like you said, who else is going to be there? Yeah, I already know. Now, I would love for Giulia to show up here. Thanks for super chat, Richard. I would hope for Giulia to show up here. Do you see Cody, Ray, and Rhea in Call of Duty? I did see Rhea. I did not see Cody or Ray. Mysterio? I'm talking about Ray Mysterio. I didn't see those two. I did see Ray. I saw Rhea though. Cool. And no Asuka. I do like that Asuka is going to be here. Asuka is in Japan right now, recovering. And I love that she's going to be on the card. She's going to be there in Osaka and Tokyo. It's unfortunate that she can't wrestle. It would have been awesome to see her wrestle in Japan, but fortunately she's injured. That sucks, man. But she's gonna be there. Yeah, Bianca was on Fortnite with Becky. Unfortunately, I said that I wonder how many Marigold talent would be there. I think Rossi would want to be there. And if Rossi Ogawa was there, who else will be there? Giulia, I'm sure. I think it would be a mistake for her not to be there. You have Giulia be on the show. Maybe not have a match, but at least have a segment or talk to the crowd, maybe. Why not? She's under contract. Why not have Giulia show up in some respect? I made a joke on Twitter that